is definitely gaslighting for sure.
Oh, hell no. Did you say that?
Fuck yeah, he did.
Oh, that's not. I mean, you and I, we go toe to toe on all kinds of things.
Hey everybody,
I would
we're
not
back.
call
Just
you
so you know.
un-American.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I have to say is that I think that we should start focusing on what's going in the United States, start producing oil, start becoming an
We
energy
are.
independent country again.
Mhm.
And then start looking at other countries that we can start branching out to. You know, like if Ukraine wants to buy oil from us, fuck yeah, let's do it. You know, if Saudi Arabia wants to buy oil from us, yeah, let's do it. But they produce their own, right? So the whole point is, instead of going out and fighting other people's countries, and I get it, you know, we have assets and stuff in other countries that we need to protect, like, you know, what happened in Iraq with the oil fields and shit like that.
Well, I
But
mean, not fuck oil, like our values to go on.
Excuse me.
but what happened to Saddam Hussein once he started selling oil in euros instead of the US dollar? He was assassinated.
What happened to Saddam Hussein after he murdered fucking thousands of his own people?
He invaded Kuwait like a dictator.
Yeah, and we also put him in power too.
It had nothing to do with some like, oh well, he made a transaction. Like he
I mean,
literally murdered
that's
people, and that whole conspiracy is just blind to you.
He
But
didn't
it's,
go
it's
to a
not a
goddamn
conspiracy
ATM.
if it's real, man. It's just a fact. But
Yes, and the other part of that fact is by doing that, he also murdered fucking thousands of people. He
sure,
invaded the country.
absolutely. So did fucking
That's the reason
Obama.
that your head should fucking roll on TV. So did Obama.
So did Obama.
Obama
Obama
did
fucking
not
bombed
thousands.
little kids with
Obama.
drones. So did Trump. He bombed fucking people with drones. So did fucking George Bush with fucking bombing the World
fuck
Trade
you.
Center. I mean,
I love you. Drones are great. Okay, you want to know why drones are great? Because do you know how many Americans' lives? Now, here's the deal: it does kill civilians more. That's a fucking problem, especially with intelligence, right? But here's the deal: if I can have an unarmed fucking thing go and blow up a fucking dangerous terrorist and save an American veteran's life, sounds fucking great.
sure.
You love
absolutely.
to hate fucking drones because of Obama made some bad choices on who
I'm
he
just
fucking
making
killed,
examples.
which everyone agrees on. But that does not make AI and drone technology in the military a bad fucking like it's the fucking worst thing in the world. If you're
Can I add to
patriotic and
this?
care
Can I
about
add to
veterans,
this?
You kind of
maybe consider-
made a good point, though. You kind of made a really good point there, Chris, and I want you to hear this point.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah,
So even though drones do take casualties and the targets, right? They also take casualties, but just because it's a drone doesn't mean all drones are bad. Just like, you know, one guy cheats on a girl doesn't mean, you know, all guys are bad.
Yeah.
Just like Putin does one thing that's fucked up doesn't mean he's bad.
there's a lot of things that are not just cheating on a fucking girl. He just murdered his own militiamen. Like that, and that's on the low scale of fucking priorities. But how fucking crazy is that? Like his one military force that he pretended that didn't exist. No one, he wouldn't ever claim it was his until now. He's literally adopting into the Russian military. Which good luck with that, because they're a bunch of fucking fuck Putin guys now. But anyways, where were we getting with this?
Chris, you just got trolled, bro. Like he specifically said Putin at the end just to fucking rile you up. Watch out for this guy. Watch out for this
You
guy.
already know
I
better. You just
troll a
don't know
lot,
that shit.
man. I troll a lot,
You
but
already know.
but
You
the-
just actively choose not to choose these things because liberals. Gotcha.
Well, no. So
Yes.
here's the biggest
That's
point, right?
exactly it.
So here's the biggest point. If we're funding other countries, right, and we're sending in weapons and stuff like that to fight our wars, why are we there in the first place if we can't send our own troops there? We don't have enough troops to be able to take that war for
We don't want to
ourselves.
kill
Can
any
I
of
answer
them.
this? Chris, can I answer this? Can I answer this one? Because this is actually a point I was trying to make. Is same thing with drones. We are not sending any American boys and girls, like 18-year-old, 20-year-old boys and girls, to go die for some dumbass war.
Then why
Drones have no, U.S. military casualties. Neither does the Ukraine war. We're funding a war against the communists, and we don't have to lose any human beings from our nation to do it. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I'm gonna.
That's called a proxy war, though, right? Hey,
It is
everyone.
absolutely a proxy war.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do you want direct war with Russia? 'Cause I sure as hell don't. And I don't want any war that has to do with any U.S. troops dying. And the coolest motherfucking thing is watching thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Russians die with zero American casualties.
I do.
That's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Hang on, buddy. Hang on.
Sorry,
I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody to die. Okay? The boys and actually it's just I think they're just sending boys. the young men that Russia is sending to fight a war they don't want to do is wrong too. That shit's fucked
So
up.
wrong.
Y'all seen this
That's
beard?
so fucked up.
This beard is fucking
That's-
coming in thick.
It's almost like
That's-
when
that's
the
a mighty
United
beard.
States went to Vietnam and conscripted a bunch of guys that didn't want to go to war.
Well, you want to know a fun fact? Any male under the age of 60 in Ukraine cannot leave Ukraine. That's a fun fact.
You know
Yeah,
why?
It's almost like they're
So
having
they
to
can
fucking
fight whatever fucking war that they need to fight, but I mean, you're forcing people to fight a war, an endless war.
You're forcing people to fight against
Hold
Russia.
on.
Russia. They
Hold
don't have
on.
a
Hey,
choice.
tag me in, bro. Tag me in.
Yeah,
tag
sorry, I
me
should
in.
get off it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, I thought you guys were all about all America, our country, best country in the fucking world. You don't think other countries
is.
think the same way about their own countries? And they're like, fuck yeah, I'll sit here and die and fight for my fucking country. What the fuck would you guys do?
Oh,
would
sure.
you move to fucking Finland? No, you wouldn't.
No,
No.
I'd fight for this country for sure.
Take it to Sweden, though. They would say we'd go to
I
Norway and Sweden.
But I would fight my fights. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so here's a scenario for you. There's this guy getting his ass beat, right? And you don't know the story, you don't know the situation, but you step in and beat the fucking guy's ass. Well, come to find out that the guy that you just saved was the guy who fucking instigated the entire fight in the first place, and you just fucking beat up an innocent dude.
Mhm.
That's because
Yeah.
you wanted to come in and be America, right? So the whole point that I'm trying to make is that you pick and choose your battles, right? Obviously, if a guy's hitting a woman, you're
Uh-huh.
gonna step ahead and you're gonna be like, "Fuck you! You ain't touching this woman." Don't care
Can I
what the
jump-
fucking scenario is, because a woman is less likely to be able to defend themselves than a man is. We're not built the same, right?
Can I get
Now,
next?
granted, if this is in a
America, but-
No,
kickboxing,
let JD
hold on,
finish.
hold
Let
on.
JD finish.
if this is
Sorry,
in a
you're right, you're right.
kickboxing, if this is the kickboxing match, right, between a guy and a girl, woman's got it. But if this is a fucking fist fight, I'm gonna step in, because women
Well,
aren't built
yeah.
that. They're built for fucking, I don't know what they got going on underneath their fucking hips, but man, they can fucking kick a horse down. So
Yeah. You need.
So-
I mean, that's exactly how I feel about
That
Ukraine.
was a weird analogy.
That's
Yeah, it was
no,
a good
actually.
analogy
So
though,
let's
huh?
walk us through that. Let's walk us through that. Hang on. Can I get
Oh,
next,
yeah.
please?
Yes,
Um,
please. Good point.
So I understand, JD. First of all, your analogy describes exactly our feelings of Ukraine. Ukraine is that little 5'1" girl walking through the alley with her fucking purse, like scared fucking to shits. And what I'm understanding, and I'm not putting any words in your mouth. What I'm understanding is that you don't see the difference between Russia and Ukraine as opposed to the U.S.
Oh,
Is that
absolutely. Absolutely, I do see the difference. What I'm saying is that we're sending, right, tanks, munitions from our own military,
Mhm.
now jets from our own military, when now we are becoming susceptible to outside attack from China. If we don't have
Russia.
the tanks, the ammunition, and the fucking jets to be able to protect our own country, why the fuck are we sending this over to Ukraine to fight
I
their
can
country?
answer this. I can answer this. I can
Let me
answer
real
this.
quick. Let me be real
Go
quick.
for it. Go for it.
Because our second biggest adversary just lost all of theirs. Go on.
So America's being very, very fucking strategic with what they're sending and when. They run, air quotes, run out of shit, because if we give them this much, we won't have this giant fucking stockpile of what we're fucking needing to keep. So
Yeah, we're
America
good.
is not just giving everything away.
It's not just us. It's also we're talking about like 10 Abrams tanks from U.S. Then like 6 from Britain, 3 from France. Like we're all like having to decide this together. Like, fuck, do we really want to give these out? Right? Well, I'll give 10. America says if you guys do these. So now all of a sudden they got like 30 Abrams tanks, but it's not because like the U.S. is just giving them all of our shit. It's like we're all, as NATO members, we're all collectively deciding as a whole in a Western world against Russia invading our neighbors, saying, hey, you know what? Let's take all of our reserves, put them together, and so that way we're not disproportionately doing this. Biden's really smart about this, by the way. He's not like making America being the only person stopping this, right? He's making sure that all the other countries are being involved with donating a lot of shit to this, because we're not the only ones who give a fuck. And if you want to take a lesson on who gives it, like why we should give a fuck, you should listen to all the bordering countries and see how they feel about it. Not someone in America that's so far away and just like, well, I'm not a part of that, so fuck it. You want to know why all of our allies give a fuck? Now, what happens if we don't support our allies when someone attacks them? What happens to us when someone hits us and
But-
none of them want to protect us?
Wouldn't it be
We're
retaliatory?
the bad fuck. yeah, they're gonna fucking go for us, and our allies are gonna be like, well, fuck it, right? We cannot just say
There's
that
a
it doesn't
there's
matter.
a missing link here, Chris. There's a missing link because
ahead.
the missing link is I agree with you 100%. Ukraine is an ally. Poland is an ally. They've given
Poland
tons
is an
of
ally. Ukraine
jets
is
and other
not
stuff.
an ally yet.
This is actually JD. Yeah, exactly. This is where JD and I disagree on because the whole thing started because Ukraine wanted to officially become an ally on paper.
Yep.
And what's happening is between me and JD when we talk about this, he's just like, well, they're not officially an ally on paper. I'm like, yeah, but they want it to be. So it's
Yes,
like
and the
that little
reason is-
that little
the reason is-
5'1" girl that's walking through the darkness trying to get to a bar, but the bar's closed. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're not already in the bar. Go ahead and
Yeah.
get murdered.
and the missing link that
Fucking hot in
the,
here.
the information that you're getting, not you specifically, I'm not with names right now, but that we're missing from the, like that part of the conversation
I
is
got
like
titty sweat starting just from
Right.
sitting here.
Russia has actively tried to prevent Ukraine from entering NATO. When NATO first said that they want to, when they finally got a country or a government that would like instead of being corrupt, like it was the first time we're like, whoa, Ukraine, like damn, they're actually getting democracy a little bit. That's fucking cool. Hell yeah, that's right next to Russia. That'd be kind of cool if they joined NATO. Finally, they were like, hey, we're going to join NATO, and Russia's been actively trying to stop them. And
Like
most
a
recently-
jealous ex-boyfriend.
yeah, they're like, no, you can't take it, NATO. And we're like, we're not doing anything. We're just convincing them with our diplomacy, avoiding war by using diplomacy, right? We want democracies. We don't want more Putins in the world or Mao's in the world or Uns in the world, right? We want democracies, even if we don't
Kim
like.
Jong's. Yeah.
Well, let
Yeah.
me bring up
So-
a point then real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So if Ukraine's not a part of the United Nations, but yet the United Nations is fighting for them, NATO.
NATO.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
those are two different entities.
Yeah. So
That's okay. It was a mistake.
So what I'm saying is, if NATO allies are still fighting for Ukraine despite Ukraine joining NATO or not, what's the point of Ukraine joining NATO?
Point of joining NATO is so that you do not become Russia, because they, you might not want to believe this, don't want to become Russian. There's a reason they want to be Ukrainian.
Well,
There's a
apart
reason
from the
that they actually
Donbass
look for
region.
Western-
I already
No, let me
understand
finish.
that.
they don't want to be, they want to be a part of the Western world
Yes.
and not the behind world, right?
Yes.
I couldn't say the behind, but the USSR, Russia. There's a reason for that, because there's two different governments that are taking place. There's two different civilizations here. You can either choose the guy who's blowing up the enemy of my friend is now blown up in a fucking plane, and everyone who says anything against me, including the next president of Ukraine or Belarus, you have to do what Putin says or you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Or you live in America where there's some fucking stupid ass fucking foreign policy that looks like it made. And there's some fucked up things. But we don't fucking just kill our adversaries. If that happened, Hillary's head would be on a fucking stake. Trump's head would be on a fucking stake. Okay? There's a reason we don't do this shit in America, because we're civilized. We're not them.
And to
And-
add to that is Ukraine again wanted from their own volition to join the West for all the reasons that Chris mentioned. And
Yes, and-
Russia's mostly mad because okay, so the consequence is if they did join finally right now. So I apologize. I finally got back to my thought.
Sure.
So JD, you asked what's the difference if they join or not? Right now, we're just defending them from the goodness of our heart.
Well,
Knowing
oh.
governments and how corporations work and stuff, do you think we'll always protect them from the goodness of our heart? Hell no. We will once they become officially part of the umbrella, then if they get attacked, they will get defended, and that's an act of war to attack Ukraine. And
Yes.
Putin wants Ukraine. Sorry, I'm done.
And-
Sorry.
No, it's okay. And while the sentiment is true, they're trying to join NATO, but that's the point. Okay, they've been trying to stop them from taking NATO, right? And so
Mhm.
if you prevent the country from join NATO, can they really join NATO? No. So what we saw is Ukraine saying, "Fucking help! We want to join you, please." There's only bad for us if we do this. And you know what they did?
Hmm.
They fucking went for America. They didn't go to fucking Russia for a reason, and they're
Right.
right next to Russia.
Right.
They want to be more like America than Russia. And so
Right.
So what you're seeing is someone that you're seeing that girl getting beaten up in front of your doorstep, and you see the aggressor behind him. And he's a little bit big, but his wares are from like 1940. Okay, but
Mhm.
but are you gonna just be like, close the door on that bitch? Because she can
No.
also just remember she can suck you off once she gets inside.
Oh my god. Okay. You went too far. You went too
So-
far. You
but she
gotta.
also has
so-
the largest grain-
Let's walk
it has
that
the
back.
largest grain exports in they have the largest exports of grain in the whole world. You can control the world grain supply with Ukraine. We've
Welcome to
learned
the
this now.
Discord podcast.
So let me bring up some important facts about this whole topic here. So originally, United
Let me
Cane,
post the sources of
the
this stuff.
Ukraine. So it's TASS.com. TAS.
I'm kidding. I'm just being a dick, dude. Please go on. I apologize.
Says Ukraine was ready to sign peace deal with Russia, but gave up under U.S. pressure. Says, had it not been for the United States pressure on those whom they installed at the head of Ukraine, this situation would have not happened. Even the Ukrainian leaders themselves were ready for signing a peace treaty and gave Russia written proposals that
God.
we, in principle,
Yep.
approved. Patrushev said, obviously
Fuck yeah.
referring to the negotiations between Russian and Ukrainian delegations in Turkey in March last year. And if it
Tag me
wasn't
in
for
after this.
Boris
Tag me in.
Johnson,
I got the answer. Please go on, JD.
And
I
if
got
it-
the answer. Please go on.
whenever
Jack,
that's
I've
possible,
balled so hard.
and if it wasn't
Yo,
for
Chris,
Boris
chill out.
Johnson,
Chill out, bro.
if it wasn't for Boris Johnson telling him to join NATO, this whole fucking thing wouldn't have escalated as much as it did because United States pressured Ukraine to join
It's
NATO.
America's fault, yeah.
Wait, let him
It's actually
finish.
America's fault.
Let him finish.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
You have
So
too much on mute.
what
It's
I'm
fault.
saying is that there was a peace treaty between Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. And Belarus wants to obviously join Russia. Ukraine doesn't want to lose Belarus because it has access to the Black Sea. Russia wants access to the Black Sea, and they used to own the Donbass region. So instead, Ukraine wanted to hold on to it and said, well, let's create a peace treaty. We're going to give you this land. We just don't want a war, but this is the access that you'll have to it. Boris Johnson came over from the UK and says, hey, you should probably rethink this. And we think that Putin's going to backtrack on you or whatever, fucking double, whatever. Make a fucking double agent out of you, essentially. And he's going to
Oh.
turn his back on you as soon as you give him access to the Black Sea. And then the
Mhm.
United States came over and said the same exact thing. And they got pressured to join the NATO. So that way, when it did happen, they said that it was a definite thing that was going to happen, that Putin was going to, fucking double cross them, that they should join NATO because they know what's going to happen. They just don't know when. And they use these fucking fake intelligency. What do they call that?
Intelligentsia?
No, it's like these papers where they it's basically fake intelligence articles saying that they overheard a
Okay.
conversation of who said this or what said that, but obviously no sources were named, and they said, well, from this person directly, to the side of Putin, they said as soon as we get this land, we're going to attack Ukraine and we're going to take over Ukraine. And United States says, here's this article right here from this person, and you should join NATO to prevent this from happening. And as soon as that fucking topic came up, Russia stood on the fucking border, I don't know how many hundreds of feet away, and says, hey, that's not the case. This is fake information. We're here just to create peace. If you give us access to this land, we will go the fuck away. There'll never be a problem, whatever.
You got to
Well-
be shitting me.
Nope, guarantee
on.
you. This whole fucking thing started because the UK and the United States, and this whole thing could have been prevented in the first place. But yet
Okay.
here we are sending billions of dollars, military
Okay.
surplus,
Yeah.
ammunition, all
Can I
It's
that.
get
America's fault. Yeah,
No,
fuck America.
JG,
It's all
JD, please
America's
finish.
fault.
But can I
I
get
said
next? Go
UK
ahead.
and the United States. I said, what you said.
United States and the fault,
But
not
you
Russia's.
also brought up the main topic earlier in the conversation. If you were the ruler of the world, how would you prevent wars? You could have fucking done it had you not pressured someone to break a 30-year fucking peace treaty in the first place and just give them the land and let bygones be bygones. But now you have to pressure them into NATO, which, by fact, we are the only country that pays more to NATO than any other country in the world. Don't
Well,
know if
let's
you knew that.
backtrack. Let's backtrack one sec. Because I was gonna debate you on that whole thing, but you just kind of blew my mind. Like, they had a peace treaty, it is true that Putin would just like take all the shit anyway. So that was true, but I can't like fault you for saying that like they pressured them against Putin.
It's 100% accurate. And when I say 100% accurate, you can even look it up. Boris Johnson goes to Ukraine.
No,
Right?
we got it. We
Before
got
the
the
war.
details. We got the details.
Yeah,
I'm
they're,
just
they're
like,
both
I'm
of you
mad
guys can
right
look
now
at them. They're
that
all
I can't,
fucking there in
like-
front of you. Google's your best friend. But what
No,
I'm
I
saying,
believe you. I believe you.
what I'm saying is that we could have prevented a war, right? And as me being an emperor of the world, my whole thing is to prevent wars in my kingdom. And how do we do
Yes.
that? By creating peace, right?
Yeah.
Well, we had a peace treaty, we had negotiations, but we fucked that off. And instead, taxpayers are paying for it. That's what
How
I'm
about
saying.
this? How about I agree with you. I agree that is an absolute like qualm of the American people because that's not really tax money. It's shit we already paid for and already built. So now we just have to build it again.
It's just debt that
But-
we've accrued from other countries and all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
It's
but
from
what I
everywhere,
wanna
not just
say is-
taxpayers. I get it.
Yeah, but it's just like, never mind. I lost my train of thought. Go on.
Money well spent is what he's trying to say because American Man is back. Okay.
No, it's
it is
not
not the
gaslighting
US'
topics
fault.
here. I never said that America's bad. I'm saying that we could have prevented something, but instead the
Oh, I
current
am.
administration pushed
Oh,
and forced
I
Ukraine
got
to
my
do what they
point back.
did.
I got my point
No,
back. So think
goddamn
about
it.
it this way.
The current
Just real
administration
quick.
did.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll hold on. Go on, Chris.
No,
go
you're
on.
good.
Sorry.
You actually be more effective. I'm just being more confirmation.
So what I'm trying to say is like, yes, was it like a playing piece, like a little puzzle piece between like America and Russia? Yeah.
Ukraine and Russia had this figured out back in March 22 by themselves. It was
But what I'm
UK and
saying-
US that
We have
intervened.
2014.
But go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I'm sorry. The thing I'm trying to posit is, what if American intelligence somehow knew way more fucked up shit about Russia, and they're like, okay, to stop this crazy bullshit, we got to take Ukraine.
Say what? I'm sorry, I was reading something. Say that one more time.
You're good. You're good. So, what if the long game was it's not about getting Ukraine on America's side, it's about preventing Russia from doing something to Ukraine that we would get fucked up on. So, we're like, fuck it. Like, there's some deep, dark shit about Russia, and they're like, oh, we got to stop this. So, making them focus on Ukraine takes a lot of focus off their shit.
Well, sure, and
It's-
and I'm not down that because there's a lot of look here while we do this kind of thing, and I totally understand that. But remember when I brought up earlier that we have 15 Department of Defense biolabs that are in Ukraine currently, right?
Mhm.
They also are
Yep.
one of the largest
All
grain
over the world.
importers.
All
Oh
over the
yeah, all
world,
over
not
the
just
world.
Ukraine.
I'm saying in Ukraine specifically, since we are talking about Russia and Ukraine, I'm talking about Ukraine specifically. They have
Yes.
15 biolabs right next to Russia. As a president of a different country, it says, hey. I don't feel safe with your biolabs considering what we just went through from a biolab in China. How the fuck would you feel? How would you react to that? Say, hey,
So on-
shut
on-
down your biolabs or
paper-
minimize something here, so that way we're all safe. Because if one of your guys fucks up, I mean, pretty much that's the end of the world. Fuck nukes. We can all die as zombies. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Go for it.
there are already biolabs all over the world. That problem already exists, with or without Ukraine. Take Ukraine, who cares? Ukraine's gone, guess what? Putin still has several more other biolabs to take out. How would you feel if he took them out? Here's my argument. Take it or leave it. America's at fault, okay?
Leave it.
Russia's invasion. Oh, let me finish. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, bringing troops into Ukraine, is actually the United States' fault, which is the same narrative
Leave
that
it.
Putin and Russia have had since its inception after the USSR. Is US bad for everything? No matter what conquest going against them, and for moral righteousness instead of what Putin wants, he's always been against America. Okay? I am against America's choice to make Putin by deciding not to do something. As an America, I'm proud that because we did not do something, it instigated Putin to invade Ukraine. And that's our fault. We have to carry that burden on our shoulders because it's clearly our fault. It's not the person who decided that it's not the person who said that he wanted to rebuild the USSR. Surely not. It's not the person who's currently invading other countries in that same division, right? It couldn't be that.
Well, you don't have to be condescending. Make your point.
Oh,
No,
I
I'm
didn't.
not being
That
condescending.
didn't sound. That was not condescending.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely was. But go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, let's
because
move on. Let's
if it
move on.
sounds
Let's move on.
condescending- If it sounds condescending, it's because it is. Because
Oh,
No, no, no,
see?
no, no. Oh,
Look at
let me
that.
tag in. Let me tag
Let
in
me
on
Look
finish
this.
at that.
my shit. Let me finish
Go on.
my point.
Fucking call them
Hold
out.
on.
It's okay to be mad at me. I get it.
Oh, I'm not
Okay,
mad at
I'm
you.
not faulting you for that.
I'm not mad at you. I'm
Because
just
you
not a
can-
stupid individual, so you don't need to condescend or down talk
you're-
me or
you're not
fucking
stupid
gaslight
either.
me either.
You're not stupid either. Okay.
Hold on. What was the item
let me
that was
finish.
condescending?
The
Go,
reason
finish,
there's a really big
finish.
reason why I'm doing this. Okay. I know it's rude and I'm an asshole for it, but because that's what you're saying. Okay. It is our fault that we did not do something that provoked a fucking authoritarian leader who had originally said, everyone knows, he wants to rebuild the USSR. He wants to rebuild it by taking over other countries, he has said.
And you
And
heard him
the
say
one
that in
thing
plain
getting in his
English,
way-
right?
The one
Yeah,
thing
we've
that's getting
seen.
in
We've all heard this.
the one thing that's getting in his way is NATO. That's why you don't like NATO, right? The point is like, it's not the USS's fault. It's the USS's fault. It's not the USS's fault that Russia does something like this.
Yeah.
No, nobody
There's
can
no
blame
reason-
somebody for someone else's actions. I get that. I'm not. That's not the point I'm making at all. What I'm saying is that we
It's
could have
not Afghanistan.
prevented.
Yes, it is.
We
It is
could
your
have made
point.
peace.
Because nope. You're saying U.S. and Britain's at fault. I don't want you to take both fucking sides of this because that's bullshit. No offense.
That's exactly
can't
what I
just be
said.
like, oh,
That's 100% of
okay.
exactly what I said. So you can't take and leave one the other, right? So
Yeah,
I said
so you
Boris
cannot-
Johnson and the United States pressured the Ukraine into a war that
I think I
now
know what's
all
going
of
on.
Americans
No,
are
no, check
involved
us out.
in.
Check us out. Check us out. Check us out. I can see
100%.
what's happening here.
100%.
JD
yeah.
is that JD's ambivalent to both sides. Like, so Chris, you and I, we see Putin as just a devil, as an instigator. Like, you and I can see all the shit that he did, but JD
Yeah, I also
is
don't
kind
know
of being
shit.
like devil's advocate.
I see both sides of what Putin does because everybody
Yeah.
does right and wrong, just like you say Biden does, right? Biden can
Yeah,
take
but Putin
billions
is
of
not on the same level as Biden. Jesus
Biden-
Christ.
Biden, hey,
I can go
Biden
back
still
through
has
with all
access.
the
To,
reasons-
wait, hold on a second. Biden can't fucking
can go.
conform a whole fucking sentence
No,
by himself
Let's
without
back up,
having
let's back
some
up, JD, let's
earpiece in.
back up. Let's back
Oh,
up.
no, I'm
Let's
making a
back up.
point here. So
Okay.
Biden can't fucking make a full sentence, but yet controls the nukes of the United States. Okay, then his son and him are involved in conspiracies.
Just
That
let him
China
finish.
said.
Just let him finish.
That China said that he is the big man, according to Hunter Biden's business partner in Congress under the oath of law, right? And then we're flushing all this money from the United States into Ukraine on a war that could have been prevented in the first place, okay? And then
Uh-huh.
Russia is best friends with China. So if let me put it this way. Hold on.
Just let him go on.
This is a
gonna
lot
be
bigger of a
interesting. Just let him
conspiracy that
go.
I just thought about. So if
China
Let
and
him
Russia
go.
are friends.
no.
How is that?
So Russia is involved with China, right? Currently, it's called the BRICS, BRICS, right?
Oh, it's like NATO, but for commies. Is that what you're saying?
No. It's a
Allies?
different. It's a different type of
No.
currency standard. It's
Oh.
also
No.
a different type of policy, so to speak. Hold on, man. Hold on. No. You got to talk and make your points. Now I'm talking. I've got the mic. All right. So now Biden is also in bed with Ukraine. So how can Biden be in bed with Ukraine, China, and Russia?
How is he in bed with Ukraine?
Well, let him finish. Let him finish.
Okay, so let's put it this way. Hunter was on the board of Burisma Oil, gets $148,000 a month, right?
Give a fuck about Hunter Biden.
Oh, you don't give a
I
fuck
know.
about the facts. I
know.
got it. It's no problem.
Jail.
All right,
Please.
so
Great.
Hunter
Honorable.
Biden
Who
is
never held
involved.
office.
Hunter
Who
Biden is
clearly
involved with
meaningless.
Ukraine, right? And then it
Donald
comes out-
Trump withheld
Oh my God!
funding
See, I
to
can't
Ukraine.
fucking make a point without you talking over me, dude. I don't think I
Finish
talk
your
over
point.
you when you're talking. I'm
Finish
pretty
your point.
polite. So, China came out saying that Joe Biden is 10%, the big man, and so did Devin
Mhm.
Archer, which is Hunter Biden's business partner. So
Huh.
if it's proven in Congress, which it already is, there's tapes of it. I
No,
mean,
it's
there's
not.
congressional session. Yeah, there fucking is, man. Look it up.
I listened to the tapes.
You
I
got the
listened to
most
tapes. I actually
powerful
listened to all of
computer
them.
in
And
your
the
hands.
hearings.
It's called a
I've listened
computer.
to all the hearings. Yep.
You looked
I
at all
listened
the
to all of them.
hearings, really? And you
Yes.
still
Just
believe
like
that
the
it's not
impeachment.
true?
Yes. If you doubt me, ask
I 100% doubt you, because obviously you missed something. If you didn't see Devin Archer say that 10% is for the big man, I am
big man.
Hunter Biden's business partner.
Yeah,
While
said
he's
that.
sitting in
You wanna know
Congress.
Context yeah, he said that.
Ah, he said
He
that,
called
yeah.
him big man. Yeah,
So
he
why did
used
you
his
just say
fucking
that he
dad's
didn't?
name. He used his dad's name. Biden had nothing to fucking do with it.
But he was
Biden
on
didn't
several
make any
phone
trades.
calls. There's over 17 video calls with Joe Biden recorded on the fucking phone call. How do you deny
Yeah,
that?
What did you see?
So
what
Joe
did you
Biden,
see?
hey, I like to deal with China. I'm Joe Biden. You think
That's
Hunter's
the guy.
really gonna call fucking China acting like a deliberated fucking douchebag? I'm sorry, man.
Gotcha. All you have, by the way,
All I
is you have
have.
evidence of a son who's using his dad's name, and his dad's saying, "Hey, I'm here. My son's pretty cool. Yep. Yeah, I can vouch for him, even if he really couldn't, but he's his son."
Uh-huh.
So he's saying, "Hey, he's good at this shit."
Uh-huh.
And they'd be like, "Oh, cool, it's Biden." And you want to know what people like, just like you're saying,
Huh.
is they want access to the president of the United States, right?
Oh,
Who wouldn't want that, right? Because that's
My
how you
heart.
make your money, is you make government deals, right? So guess what? His
Uh-huh.
son's doing that. Guess what?
Uh.
Hunter Biden's going to jail for that. There's
no,
absolutely
no.
evidence any minute of those crimes.
No. Let's get the facts straight. Hunter Biden's going to jail for possession of a firearm with drugs. That's what he's going to jail for.
Yeah, guess what's illegal?
What? What's illegal? Making
Drugs?
business deals
Drugs?
while your fucking dad's the vice president? That's
Why
not
don't you
illegal.
ask- why don't you go ask
That's
Ivanka?
not illegal. 100%. That's crazy.
Yeah,
What
and you know what? We
fucking
couldn't do
cartoon do I live
Jared
in right
Kushner?
now?
God, we could not do the same thing that you're trying to do to Hunter Biden to fucking Eric and fucking.
Oh
all
yeah,
of
you
Trump's
can do it
children.
to
We
everybody.
couldn't do any of this.
Absolutely, but
You
you're
wanna know why?
denying the simple fact that Joe Biden is the president, but yet you're talking about an ex-vice president currently, right? Because you
Because I'm
said
trying
no.
to make
Here's your
everything
point.
understand.
Hunter Biden's not
Yes.
the president. Either is who? Either is Donald Trump,
Either
right?
is
So why are you
Alex
talking
Trump
about
or Trump.
a non-president right now? I don't get it.
We'll tell you.
You
could
can't
just
be
stop.
hypocritical when you talk about something, man. It's either
I
you
will.
talk
I will.
about the whole conversation that all links
Yeah.
together, including Donald Trump, his kids,
Are you done?
and Hunter Biden and his
Stop
dad.
pouting.
They're all
Stop pouting.
connected. I can't talk about one without the other, right?
Yeah, you want to know why? Because it's not illegal. I'm
It
trying
is
to finish my-
illegal while you're the
you can
vice
keep going,
president of the
that's fine.
United States.
That's fine. I'm gonna come back to it. It's okay. You can keep
Oh,
going.
you're
Okay.
gonna come back to it. Okay,
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
So,
Okay, the reason why
uh,
I'm trying to make the analogy is that because we saw a problem with Ivanka Trump and Eric Trump and all these people who have way more fucking money than
Oh.
fucking Hunter Biden ever will.
oh yeah,
Okay, these
Uh-huh.
people are directly responsible for Middle East and other big major conflicts that can exactly what you're trying to pin fucking Hunter Biden on.
oh,
The worst, actually influencing the presidents and the decisions of the president of the United States.
that's
Right? That's what
crazy.
we're worried about here, right?
That's
but guess what? That's not illegal. I would love for it to be illegal. I would have loved it to be illegal when I actually fucking cared about it back when I was worried about those two fuckers. Now, I'm not quite as worried about fucking Joe Biden's crackhead son convincing fucking multinational companies that you can use Joe Biden's name to get influence him, because Joe Biden might fucking know better than to listen to his fucking crackhead son on those kind of fucking decisions.
Mhm.
But I would assume that Trump has trust and loyalty in his family. Maybe they'd be deciding, hey, you know what? I can
Oh,
get a lot of
absolutely.
money if I finish this business deal in Russia.
Absolutely. And so,
Anyways,
and
the
while we're still
reason-
talking about Trump and talking about Joe Biden, right? They're accusing Trump of hiding a bunch of top secret documents in his closet that the FBI told him to put a special lock on and then raided it for the news, right? What happened to all the fucking documents that Joe Biden had stashed next to his Corvette in Chinatown? I don't remember FBI raiding his shit.
Wait, what?
Equal law, the justice system, right? Go justice system. That's what you like, right? That's patriotic, believing that it works for one side and not the other. That's cool. So what I'm saying here is that the whole entire war of Ukraine could have been prevented, but I feel like there's something else at play here because Joe Biden and Hunter Biden are directly related with Ukraine through business deals. Okay,
Oh, can I
while
get
he was the
next on
vice
this? Can I get
president
next on
of the
this?
United States. I don't ever remember Trump making business deals with other countries to sell secret information,
Oh,
or
bullshit.
oh, really? So Trump
I'm sorry,
Trump
please-
made
please
deals with
finish.
other countries
I
while he was the
apologize,
president of the
please
United
finish.
States?
I apologize. Can you repeat that? I talked over you. Can you repeat that?
I said I don't ever remember Trump making deals with other countries for his own personal benefit.
Okay, and that's where I called bullshit.
Uh-huh. And then why?
He's had contracts in like Russia and the Saudi areas
Mm-hmm.
to build Trump towers.
Uh-huh. And that happened while he was president or before he was president?
It's a very good question.
Huh,
It happened before he was president.
That's crazy. How fucking crazy is that? To make a
Chris just
business
dropped
deal
out.
before you're the president of the United States, and then while you're the president of the United States. There's two big different demographics there, buddy. And
I would
I'm
like
not
to
trying to
walk it
be
back.
I'm not trying to be fucking heavy dick swinging guy here, but I'm tired of getting fucking yelled at over dumb shit that's clearly not fucking true.
Oh no, the crazy part is usually like I'm the one getting destroyed by all of you, so now we got 2 against you, so that's kind of fucked up.
Oh,
But I
either
want
way,
to bring it.
I don't
wanna walk it
mind,
back.
but I will tell you the facts, and I don't give a fuck if I have to talk over you or not, because I guarantee you that there's more to this whole Ukrainian thing where creating peace is not the answer, because where does all the money flow whenever there's a war? So why
I
would there
respect
be a
your
need
point
for
of
the
view.
war?
But now you know how I feel all the time, all the fucking time.
Oh, I'm
with
not- I'm-
also
I'm
fucking
not a-
homeboy trying to elbow me in the face.
Yeah, I'm not
But-
I'm not even upset about it 100%.
I'm-
But what I'm saying
No,
is that
go ahead.
what I'm saying is I'm not going to be gaslighted and saying that I'm anti-American for knowing more facts and doing more research and knowing what the actual fucking problem is than someone else when they want to talk over you when you have an answer. I'm
I
sorry.
want to parking lot that because that's an important point. But what I want to say is the point I want to walk back to a point you made, JD, is about like Biden being corrupt in Ukraine, etc., and also tied to your point of Ukraine. All of their leaders wanted to join Russia. Well, there was kind of a fucking entire goddamn revolution in Ukraine because Ukraine's government was filled with Russian like sadists.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
they were plants.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, like I said, I've got families Ukrainian, so I love Ukraine. You know, and the biggest thing is that there's a lot of corruption in every country that you can possibly imagine going to. It doesn't matter how big or how small, there is going to be corruption. Doesn't matter, right? Bunch of people were arrested, including rabbis and fucking other high-end members, just recently. I think it was within this week or last week. So I know that there were Russian spies inside Ukraine because USSR. I also know that there's Nazis in Ukraine as well, and there's probably Nazis in Russia as well. So it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that there could have been a war that was prevented, and instead of the war being prevented, there was a bigger picture that was being made, right? And we as the people of the United States have to understand that we can't just sit by and trust our government and say that everything's okay, right? When everything else impacts our lives. If we're sending billions and billions of dollars and we have no money or no capital to back that up, no loans from other countries, no debt or no gas or no oil reserves to sell off or no gold or nothing else, where's the money coming from? It's coming from taxpayers. So as interest rates go up and all the inflation goes up, who hurts the most? We do. But yet all the billions of dollars that could stabilize our economy is going to another country to fight a war that could have been prevented. Is that not a good point or what?
It is, but it comes from like a very emotionless place.
It's not an emotionless place.
I disagree, but let's leave it there.
All right. So next topic, what do you feel about the Hawaiian fires that we talked about earlier?
It's a terrible tragedy.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't know. I didn't hear you guys talk about the original run through.
Oh, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
I think it's a horrific tragedy.
Yeah, I think it's bizarre. I think it's completely crazy. One thing I do want you to Google though, real quick, if you don't mind, is Paradise Fires, Paradise, California, and Lahaina Fires. Open them up in separate tabs and just
Okay,
look
hold on. Let's. What was the first one?
It's Paradise, California, Paradise Fires.
Cool. What was the next one?
Lahaina fires.
How do you spell Lahaina? Laha?
Lahina.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Sorry, I don't speak Islander. Okay. All right, go on.
So just look at the pictures next to each other and see if you see any similarities at all.
Let me pull up the
And
pictures.
I'll kind of give you some background to this too.
Hey, why don't we go ahead and wrap this up?
Oh, okay.
Because we've been on for pushing 3 hours now.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
So,
Well, the only thing that I was going to bring up was just look at the similarities between the fires. What's being talked about was that Lahaina there's a conspiracy to it, of course. But
Can I put the last button on this?
Yeah,
It's
go
like
for it.
yes, they both look like shit burned down.
but look at the trees. The trees are still green.
Yeah, they're on fire. Anyways, let's
Oh, well. Anyways, that was a good conversation, Chris. I'm sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to upset you, but you know.
yeah, this has been fire.
So-
This has been a good podcast.
So, anyways, as far as the debate, you know, it's great, but it sucks when other people talk over you. So, I'm sorry to give you a piece of your medicine there at the last part of the end there, but you know, as
His
far
phone
as
died, it looks like.
so as far as you know, everything going on and everything that you know that's said, I definitely think is if you were one ruler, the object is to create peace in all of your kingdoms. It doesn't matter where and who they are and what they've done or whatever in the past, right? You know, we get it. You know, Russian is a huge threat because of all the nuclear weapons, and they can easily destroy the United States and other countries and stuff. And you know, and I don't even think that if Russia wanted to go to war or whatever, all they'd do was push a button and NATO would be gone. So I mean, really, in an idealistic world, NATO, there's no point. Because obviously if you back a fucking lion in a corner, what's a lion gonna do? Say fuck it. If I'm gonna die, everybody's gonna die, right? So why push that button? You know, why push him further than he needs to be? And instead of trying to create peace from where we're currently at and save more lives from where we're currently at, even though so many people in Ukraine and Russia have died, try to make some kind of peaceful resolution from where we're at. And
So what you're saying is Putin and the Russian Empire are not like they're just like there's nothing we can do ever. They will always be there, and it'll always be that asshole
just
or
like,
some asshole like him.
but other countries think we're the same asshole, man. You know, there's always going to be that asshole. It just depends on who's looking at the fucking dirty glass. You know, the world is dirty, full of a bunch of fucking evil.
You know what side of the glass I'm looking at? From the American side.
Well, yeah. And from the American side, you can't just go and nuke every country you don't like. You know, it's the same thing our parents teach us. You can't just beat the shit out of everybody you don't like because, you know, in turn, what's going to happen? You're eventually going to meet someone bigger and badder, and they're not going to give you a chance either, and they're going to fuck you up. And that's, you know, I
Right.
get it. You know, that's how dog eat dog works in the ocean. But I mean, we're not the ocean. We're civilization. You know, we're the last economy in the world, so to speak. You know, if someone pushes the button, then we're all dead.
All right, we're wrapping it up.
So
Let's do it.
Thanks, everybody. It has been a blast. Sorry it's been so long, but this was fun. So, chat, thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out with us. It's been great. So, this is the Lack of Thought podcast. I'm Mike,
I'm JD.
and, and everybody on Discord. It's been awesome. You all have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll be back on soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.